Hello, welcome back to my channel and Happy New Year! I'm going to start off the new year with something a little bit different. It's a tag, but it's a 50 rapid fire questions tag, and I discovered this one on Hugo Reads. Hugo Reads is a fabulous dude. He's very clever, he's very interesting, he's kind of wacky and bizarre, he's a little bit bonkers. In fact, he's very, very bonkers. He's completely off his head, crazy, insane, and I love that about him. I find him thoroughly entertaining. I love watching his videos. He has quite an eclectic taste in books, and he speaks very knowledgeably about his books, and with an enormous amount of enthusiasm and humour as well. He's a very funny guy, and he's quite cute as well, in a homeless man outside a supermarket sort of way. I really like Hugo Reads, but as I say, he is a little bit bonkers. He's a little bit...
Hello, I am from the telephone company. There is something the matter with your phone.
I know he's not French.
There's a lady who knows.
But that's enough of all that toffee. Let's get on with the questions. And I'm not going to bother with graphics because it's rapid fire. So let's get started. Question number 1. Hardback or paperback? Paperback. I love hardbacks. Oh, I'm supposed to be doing rapid fire. Am I allowed to talk a little bit or just literally answer the question straight away? Question number 1. Hardback or paperback? Paperback. I love hardbacks, but paperbacks are more practical, although nowadays Kindle. Oh, rapid fire. Right. Question number 2. Dust jacket off or on? If there is a dust jacket, then I take it off because they're bloody annoying. But again, Kindle. Question number 3. Second-hand or new copies? A mixture of both, but again, Kindle. Question number 4. Audiobooks or nah? I haven't tried nah. I hear it tastes quite good with extra chilli, but in terms of audiobooks, most definitely I love audiobooks. I particularly like audiobooks that are read by a grumpy old man sort of character. I like a grandfatherly voice reading to me as I'm going to sleep. Question number 5. Do you cover by? No, because you can't judge a book by its cover. Question number 6. What's a good book with a bad cover? This would be A Short History of Nearly Everything by Bill Bryson, but it's a deliberately bad cover. It's supposed to look like shit. Question number 7. What's a bad book with a good cover? My mind's a blank. Number 8. First book you ever read? The earliest one, I think, would be Folk Tales by my grandma, Lila Berg. Are you trying to sabotage me? Is that what you're doing? Are you sabotaging me? Question number 11. Last book you bought? This one I know the answer to because I've only just bought it, and it's the Kindle version of Simon's book Prism. Number 12. What's your favourite genre? Well, my instant answer to that is fantasy, but I actually do seem to be reading a lot more children's books lately. So I'm going to say fantasy / classic children's literature. Yeah. Question number 13. What's your favourite book in that genre? Well, as you well know, my favourite fantasy book is actually plural. The Devry series by Catherine Kerr, the Empire trilogy by Raymond E. Feist and Janny Wirtz, and the Borobles trilogy by Michael de Larrabiti. Question number 14. What genre do you never reach for? Religion. Question number 15. Do you read poetry? I have done in a limited sense, but it's not really my thing, and I haven't read any poetry for a long time. So I suppose the only truly honest answer to that question is no. Question number 16. Popular science? Question mark. I suppose it's asking if I read popular science. If A Short History of Nearly Everything by Bill Bryson counts, then yes. Question number 17. Middle grade? Question mark. I have no clue what that means. I suspect it might be an American term, or maybe it's just a bookish term that's outside of my ken. But since I don't know what it means, I'm just going to say no. Question number 18. Do you have BookBox subscriptions? No, I don't. And honestly, I don't know what BookBox is, but I feel that I ought to. So I'm going to inject a certain amount of shame into that answer, and I will flagellate later in private. Question number 19. What's your favourite bookish item? Is it strange to say my bookcase? Number 20. What's your current bookmark? My current bookmark is the digital one on my Kindle. I don't tend to use bookmarks. I'm a dog-earer. I tend to just fold over the corners of pages if I'm reading an actual physical book. I know it's despicable. I apologise. Number 21. What's the strangest object you've used as a bookmark? In the days when I used to roll my own cigarettes and other things, I used to use Rizzlers. I'm not sure if people around the world will know what Rizzlers are, but they're cigarette papers. I used to often use those as bookmarks. Question number 22. Book jackets or nah? I'm going to say no to book jackets because they're flipping inconvenient. They're a nuisance and they tend to get torn and tatty and they get in the way and they're just a pain in the arse. Question number 23. Who's your fictional boyfriend? Lord John Grey from Outlander. He's lovely. I do love me a bit of Lord Grey. Number 24. Favourite book couple? Well, again, I'm going to stick with Outlander and I'm going to say Claire Fraser and Jamie Fraser from Outlander. I love those two. Number 25. Favourite book villain? There are lots of really excellent villains in lots of books, but I think my favourite is Tapek from the Empire trilogy by Feist and Wirtz, mainly because he's so unspeakably horrible that you can really, really hate him while you're reading. But at the same time, unlike a lot of villains, Tapek truly gets his comeuppance, and I really like the way that happens. Number 26. Favourite book adventure? What? Favourite book adventure? I don't know how to answer that. Most of the books that I like reading are adventures, and all of them are good. Number 27. Series, trilogies or stand-alones? All of the above. 28. Mixed media books or paragraphs? I do not understand the question. Question number 29. What's your favourite book adaptation? Right, I'm going to say The Railway Children. I think I mentioned that in my last video. Favourite adaptations are The Railway Children and the Lord of the Rings trilogy. 31. What book needs an adaptation? Now, this question tricked me initially because, of course, my first immediate thought was the Devery books by Catherine Kerr and the Empire trilogy by Feist and Wirtz, because I love them so much. But then I realised that for that precise reason I don't ever want them to be adapted, because I would never be happy. Number 32. Favourite book world? I'm going to have to say Narnia. I know it's childish and all of that, but Narnia is a world where animals have a certain amount of autonomy and they can speak and communicate intelligently with each other and with people, and for the most part nothing really bad happens to any of the animals in Narnia, at least not that I can remember. At least if you discount Aslan on the stone table, of course. I'm going to gloss over that part. But for the most... And did Reapercheap get his tail cut off? Yes, yes. Aside from a couple of minor incidents, I'm going to say that Narnia is a beautiful country, and it's full of talking animals and mythological creatures, and for the most part they live in harmony, and that's a place that I would be very happy living. So I'm going to say Narnia is my favourite world, but I would also like to incorporate Devry and Midkemia as well. Number 33. Favourite writing style? Michael de Larrabiti. Michael de Larrabiti wrote the Borobles trilogy, and I particularly love his use of similes and just his descriptive writing. If you watch my video report about the Borobles trilogy, I talk at length about this sort of stuff. Question number 34. What's a book that you love that people don't know about? I seem to keep banging on about this, but I'm going to say it again. It's the Devry books by Catherine Kerr, it's the Empire trilogy by Feist and Wirtz, it's the Borobles trilogy by Michael de Larrabiti. 35. What's a popular book that you hated? I'm going to say Wizard's First Rule by Terry Goodkind. I think Terry Goodkind was an unlikable human being, and I think his books weren't nearly as good as he thought they were. Number 36. Favourite childhood reads? The Narnia books, Wind in the Willows, the Borobles trilogy, anything by E. Nesbit, The Railway Children. There were a series of books called The Three Investigators, which seemed to be written by Alfred Hitchcock, but actually weren't at all. They just had his name on them. I think Alfred Hitchcock Presents The Three Investigators. And they were kind of like the Hardy Boys, who I also read, and the Nancy Drew books. I also read those as well. But The Three Investigators in particular, I really liked. And it was as the title describes. It was three kids who would investigate mysteries, kind of Scooby-Doo style mysteries. And I really liked those when I was a kid. Also Anastasia Krupnik. I've mentioned her before. I've still got the Anastasia Krupnik books on my shelf. They're charming, by Lois Lowry. Number 37. What's a book that changed your life? Well, again, I'm going to have to say The Daggerspell, the Devry books by Catherine Kerr, for two reasons. They were my transition from children's fantasy into adult fantasy, but also my review for the Devry books was the first thing I videoed. It wasn't the first thing I published, but it was the first thing I videoed when I was initially setting up my studio and deciding to do BookTube type stuff. So the Devry books played a arguably life-changing role at two key points in my life. Number 38. What book did you hate at school? The Outsiders by S.E. Hinton. Number 39. Do you buy to collect? I used to, but I don't anymore. And the reason for that is that, for me anyway, there is a thin line between collecting and hoarding. Number 40. Do you donate books? Yes, and as soon as the plague is over, I'm going to be donating some books to my local library, and I will probably make a video of it, an unhaul video. It'll be my first unhaul video, so won't that be fun? Number 41. What's your favourite reading snack? Literally anything that goes in my mouth. There's a word for it, but I can't remember what it is. But it's, the oral fixation thing. Not oral in that sense. Get your mind out of the gutter. I shovel, as you can probably tell from my magnificent physique. I tend to like putting things in my face on a regular basis. Cookie! Nom, 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 nom. Oh, nom, 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 nom. Number 42. What's your favourite reading position? In bed, propped up with pillows, with my cat. Number 43. Natural light or lamp light? lamplight. The thing about natural light is that it's very variable. Number 44, outside or inside? I refer you to the previous question. Number 45, breaking the cover or keeping it smooth? Answering this as if I didn't use a Kindle, I would say breaking the cover, because I'm not a person who has books that are incredibly valuable or precious, or have covers that are there to be admired aesthetically. Number 46. Do you read in other languages? No, I can only speak English fluently. Number 47. What book series do you want to finish this year? Well, this is a good question to be answering right at the beginning of the year because it gives me plenty of time, but it's the J.V. Jones ones that I mentioned in my winter TBR, Book of Words trilogy by J.V. Jones. Number 48. What book release are you most excited about right now? I've mentioned it before, it's The Body by Bill Bryson. I can't wait for that. Number 49. Do you have a favourite book influencer? No, because I think it would be rude to have a favourite. There are a variety of booktubers and book influencers who I watch, but I generally watch them because I find their videos entertaining rather than influencing. And I don't have a favourite because I'm subscribed to about 200 at the moment, and it would be very difficult to pick a favourite out of such a deep and well-stocked pool. Number 50. Do you have a channel, blog, or social media feed? Does the Pope shit in his hat? So that was 50 rapid-fire questions, which I stole from Hugo Reads, and he stole from the Book Pearl. So anyway, that's enough of all that toffee. Thank you very, very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did and you haven't already, please do the subscribey thing and the likey thing, and I will see you next time. See you later.